I'm eating. I'll turn the camera this way. There we go. You see me? Okay, I'm eating. Sorry. I treated myself to Chick-fil-A. It's either that or like 4 bags of gummy candy, and I'm not sure I'm going to survive on that in Starbucks. So, okay, so now I told you what goes on. Now here's the second part. Like, it's just not one follow through of like situations. It's embedded. So now we have the second problem situation from December 19th through December 23rd. Okay. There is an email that gets sent out because it's a question from my philosophy professor to me. Remember, like, we don't go back all the way back because we're not going to the bomb and to come through the worldly vaginal opening. I have to say it that way because it's, I forgot to. Goddamn hash browns. So anyways, the question becomes, what do you want me to do with this telepathy book? Because that's a Wiccan thing. And we had just gotten out of, like, everybody just now got out of the Wiccan. Like, this whole thing. Like, oh crap. It's the fashion. So now we're into, like, positive motivation, positive thinking, and stuff like that. So, just fucking hold it. So that's where we're at this point with, like, people. Okay, cutting off ties from Michigan, now moving into Mass, saying like it's a new life and stuff. So the email says get rid of it. What do I get? Well, I don't want to get rid of it. You have a dumpster outside, throw it in the dumpster. Ain't nobody gonna go through it. Nobody dumpster dives in the university. So it ended up coming back to me. So this one go around, because it's like really memorable when I start calling off like all these different things happening and recording it and actually commentating, because that's what it was. Because I did record the first day and then I recorded the second and the third because it got worse and worse. But that's the whole point of my Dianetics, is that it's supposed to bring out the worst and bring the problem closer to me. And it's just like, okay, so now how do you deal with it? Because nobody knows how to talk straight to me, and that's not right. It's not right at all. So the email gets sent out saying to just throw the book out. No, I end up having this guy having to send it to me. So everybody knows better that they just need to throw it out. It's going to reappear again. Okay? So it doesn't make a difference. Save the fucking money and just throw it out. No, I have to communicate. And I think that's where the whole loophole comes in, because it's almost like somebody's following what's going on, which I also like have figured it out, like who, because like you guys go up and up with telecommunications and things like that, not realizing it's just, I'm not getting into that one, because that's honest to God truth. You guys haven't answered the Little House on the Prairie phone episode question with the thesis paper. So it's only inevitable that a Q-tip was involved in the whole making of it. Like, come on, seriously. Get 500 people to talk across a 50 feet string between two Dixie cups. Trust me, you guys are not gonna yell into the cup. You're gonna talk into it and assume the other person heard you. Which is why these masks is like an instant like Dixie cup lab experiment, because you guys can't hear shit with this. It's all muffled, okay? It's all muffled. So that right there is instant proof that yes, you do need to be close to somebody to say it. It's just not going to work. Anyways, that's a whole different argument we're not getting into. We're focusing on this one problem that we haven't gone through, the worldly vaginal opening. You guys have to get this through your heads that in order to get us to the 8th year, we have to continue doing good. We can't fuck it up. So now politicians are fucking it up. And it's just like, what the hell? Because it starts at the top and trickles downward. It has nothing to do. Like I said, it has nothing to do with Jackie Kennedy and all that stuff. I have to tell people that, okay? So I have to lie because people are not that highly IQ to see that. Nobody is. And there's a handful of people that are. And even those people are like saying there's no point in bringing it up. You have to bring it up because most of the people are not getting this. We got people still arguing about that you can't file bankruptcy after having a divorce. Yes, you can. Yes, you can if it's an economic crisis. Like some of the states are still in shutdown and some of the states are open. We're not fully open. Like I said, I can't sit down in a Starbucks and have a cup of coffee. So you can only do it at the mall. Or you can stand. But it's not a place you want to have a cup of coffee while standing. It's just not comfortable. Continuing forward. So yeah, now I'm suckered in because here I am. I'm trying to avoid emails. I'm trying to avoid phone calls. I'm trying to avoid any letter writing. Okay? Like I said, we're not ending it. We're not beginning it. We're recycling. So it's recycling the past, recycling the future into the present. And it sucks. It actually sucks because now all these people are calling and calling, trying to see if where I'm at in Massachusetts, where I'm at in Rhode Island. And it's just like, why? Why do that? Don't do that because I'm not going to end up being there. I don't even apply for like half of the places that these people are calling from. And I know some of the girls are from Duncan. I know some of the girls are from Sylvan. So I know where all the phone calls are coming from. And like the first set of 10 phone calls though are from me. I can't say that because if I say that, that means I have to prove it. But they are because it's too many crazy things that happen during the first 4 weeks. Too many crazy things that happen. Like super crazy things. Not normal. Completely not normal. Like the first day training me on the phone after you just got done saying I'm not going to use the phone and that the secretary needed to pick up the phone when Jean called. Like all those type of things. They're illogicals. They really are illogicals. But the problem is that those illogicals are tied to that you can't leave. I have every right to leave. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. I have every right to leave. Okay? I have every right to leave. I have every right to leave a job if I don't feel safe, if I don't feel comfortable. The other thing is that this man Steve tries to do these like amygdala retractions and crazy shit. God help me. So yeah, like I said, a lot of crazy stuff. Now here's what's going to end up happening. When we go through, they're going to forget naturally. Because when I start telling them, like, I just got done telling you this is not going to work out. We've already been through this before. Now the website comes in. It's like 2.5 weeks into it. I know it's not going to work out because they just got done talking about having the main guy work on it afterwards. So it's like, okay, so what are you guys really doing? So here I am. I've already said this during the interview. I've already said this on the first day, second day. Now it's becoming obvious that they really don't have anything. So it's like, why did you hire me? So it's kind of suspicious. Meanwhile, at the same time, because this whole, like the very first start of it started in the office at this university, the professor's office, it's all coming through. So it's just like, why? Why is it coming through? So that means that it's personal bond. That means my lawyer showed up. When he's not supposed to do that, he's supposed to wait it out. He's supposed to wait it out because I am going to like provide him stuff. So now it's like, okay, great. Fantastic. So now this is all happening at the first employment, which is my ex-husband's previous sign company employer. So it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. Then March comes along and it's even worse because all the girls at Sylvan find out that I'm back and now they start calling. There's no reason to call CP. None. And then they're lying. They're good at lying. They really are. Because like all of a sudden the daughter dropped, one of the staff's daughters drops dead. Okay. Funny. Funny. And I say that in a peculiar manner because that's kind of odd. Not going to want the medical report or anything, but it's just like, okay, things are happening weird. I can't remember names, okay? So it's not like, you know, other places where I'm able to walk into my job and I'm able to fire off names like so and so, I need help here, so and so you need to do that because I'm doing this. Same thing is happening here at Forever. That's how I know. That's how I know. Same thing was happening with one employee over at KFC. Actually, two. Way too many phone calling. So that started. Okay. So now here comes December 21st, now into January 30th. Now I'm suckered into something really sick. And it is. It's like, what the fuck? I'm stalling. I'm personally stalling. Okay? Which means more phone calls are being made. Which I know who the phone calls are coming from. Manville. Yeah. Because one aunt can't figure out why there's a story to it. The other person can't figure out why they need me, all that stuff. So they're making phone calls. They are. Because they can't pay my ex-husband a certain amount of extra dollars to his salary. Okay. All right. And yet they're still trying to figure out this website, which they fire. Okay. The website ends pretty strange because I checked that out 3 years into it, right? You want to see what happens with it. Nothing changed. Nothing changed, just the heading. So it was like nothing really got done. Okay. So now I'm dealing with it and it is, sorry. So now I'm dealing with the stalling because now I'm out of routine. Ex-husband's acting up, not craving sex, because right now I'm just trying to get through it. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse. February comes along, and here comes the transgender affair. So it's almost like I'm feeling the twist, like the Wizard of Oz tornado coming. Then a whole entire month, and it's becoming really difficult to pick up a cup of tea from Starbucks, sit down and enjoy it and drink it completely. So that ends up playing into a factor. And then, of course, the aftermath of it, because now I've got to deal with that. Then my family comes into town. They have their own idiosyncrasy, which is the laundry issue. Okay? We're not understanding that I have certain sanitary boundaries. So that's playing into effect. Attitude is being thrown around because my sister freaking hates me and I don't care. Okay. And the whole chit chat. Now it's like, okay, so that I'm dealing with. The lawyer's doing its thing because that's what happened the very first time. So I don't know, because I'm not in Michigan, I don't know if the lawyer visited the professor. I don't know if he's sitting there not doing anything. Don't know. Don't know whatsoever. The first week of March, I call a buddy, like, not a buddy, but like a classmate of mine. Okay. And he was like, you're not a programmer, you're not this. And then I ended up saying on the phone, we've already been through this before. I said, that's why I'm calling you, because we've been through this before. You want to explain to me why this project came up again? Because I can't say, like, oh, we've already been through this before, just to let you know, like, I'm going through the routine of it. Because that's when he starts saying, then you need to put on a mask. I'm like, I don't need to put on a mask. That's not what these masks are for. I don't need to put it on. I'm not schism. You can't say Sikhism, because it's not. It's not. So that's why I'm like asking for mega help, because everybody's creating songs knowing fully well that people are trying to get help for what they're going through because they're on meds and stuff. Well, maybe I'll just try this, I'll try this, and I'll try this. And I'm stuck listening to soundtrack music from films before 1998. And it's difficult to find one that actually fits along the timeline of my life and achievements. So now we get into KFC. Now phone calls are being made. And it's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse and worse. And one aunt, or I think an aunt or a sister to this one person, seriously wants to slap the shit out of her relative. Can't blame her. Can't blame her at all. So that starts it. Okay, not mentioning it. She can tell her own problem, but I already told it. So now the Twitter account starts up because it's becoming too much with all the bubbles in April to deal with, because the family is now starting to act crazy and weird on my ex-husband's side. So it's almost like everybody's got a lawsuit on me for no reason whatsoever, thinking it's my fault. It's not my fault. I don't do any resetting of time. I don't do any of that stuff. All I do is just reset logic. That's it. Because way too many people are having the bad Vulcan nose, or having the crooked nose. That's something I see. That's something I see. Because everybody likes to change their appearances to people. Okay. And that's when the appearance of Burma hands come up. That means the swelling, the ugly looking sickness in the hands of people's diets and health. Okay, mind you, I'm superhuman. I have a higher keen way of seeing people. Okay. It's not like, oh yeah, I can teach you. No. Do the stunt I did and see what magic you get. Okay, all it is that your ability to see sickness. That's it. Nobody wants to get sick, but yet at the same time, humans make themselves sick. My diet has now slimmed out. I don't want pasta. We're constantly going out. Food's being made in the house, and no one is eating it. I'm losing my ability to eat. I'm losing it. And all I'm craving is just liquids. Like I said, espresso, Coca-Cola, tea, and water. That's it. Other than the black tea lemonade. So now people are calling CP, acting strange, flirting with the owner. The owner's like really old. Really old. And everybody wants to be supervisor. One lesbian is acting up because she's got to speak most of the Puerto Rican Spanish. Look, I'm not getting involved in that. But it's almost like she's got to pick a fight with somebody. She tries to pick an issue with me. Like, I don't have an attitude. I have a strong face. I have a strong face, so unfortunately it looks like I have an attitude, and I don't. Can't fix it. It doesn't change. None of it changes. So it's just that person wanting to become a supervisor and showing that, oh, I can pick out, people that don't want to do their job or keep their job. That's not true. Okay. So there's that. But it also shows with the other girls, and then we get another guy, an African American, that comes in really acting up. And this man seriously makes another phone call again, because this time I'm actually able to hear it when I'm staying at my parents' during the month of, I want to say February. So during the month of February, where I'm staying with them for an entire month, I actually hear this phone call from beginning to end. And the only reason why I know is because this person's seen some sort of episode and said, that's what I'm going to become. Because I need to know if this is going to go right back around and stuff. So it's a whole bunch of, like, get off the fucking phone. Which is why I'm constantly in meditation, because I have to pop these bubbles. They're not mine. I come into work. I know what I have to do. That's it. But if you have thoughts about what I'm thinking about that's not true, now I got to sit there and I got to pop. Constantly popping. There shouldn't be anything like this. There should be just straight, you go to work, that's it. No thinking, no nothing. You just go through it. You should be able to recognize that there is no solution to this end, that there's a solution to that end. So naturally, third year comes in. So now it's salary paying job at this fucking fake business. And everybody's saying, well, it's not true. It does work. It does all this and stuff. Yeah, it's crap. It's crap. It's crap. So, and we all know that Trump is not winning 2020. It's Joe Biden at this point. But like I said, we've been through this so many times. It's just not working out. People are starting to act stupid. More and more stupid. So it's like, okay, well, moving on to greeter patch. So now all these career phrases start coming into play, because now people have done enough calling during the first 2 years that they've got enough information to get through the next 2 years. Not true. Not true. Because now, in that third year, I'm actually going through the first year of Joe Biden's administration, which is haphazard. So we get into people stopping spending, going into haphazard because that it takes place, and then now it goes through. It cycles through. So now the fourth year ends up becoming this year, the second year of Joe Biden's administration. That's because we ended so soon. So that's really what it is. The problem is that the first 6 months there's so much damage from my ex-husband that already people think I'm aggressive. That's not true. That's not true at all. Hold on 1 second. I'm not aggressive, and if I try to record something of him, it's like it's like the next set of like whatever events are supposed to happen afterwards fly through real fast. So it's almost it's almost like criminal fast. So that's how I know like everything's being set up on the family, because like I said, something took place in Aruba with a phone call. Lies were said to our senator, Michigan senator, which was Peters, and then I ended up having to take the phone call and finishing it because I was just like, I'm fed up with it. So I know that conversation, which is exactly why he gets double unemployment, which by the book you're only supposed to get it one state at a time. So, because I worked in Rhode Island too, and they pulled my unemployment from Rhode Island into the Massachusetts unemployment. So I mean I worked in 2 states, but I got it in one lump state sum. So I mean he got in the 2 states was like Rhode Island and Michigan, and he didn't work in Michigan. He didn't work in Michigan. He was just finishing up projects. He was told to hand them off as soon as he moved in, and he wanted to hold on to them a little bit more, and he was told no. So yeah, he's going to walk right into his projects. That's why I said, like, as soon as that surgical mask came in, that's how I knew, like, COVID-19 was going to repeat itself again. But I know that's tied to Donald Trump, though, because he doesn't want to lose 2020, but oh well. You didn't do what you're supposed to do.